Alright, Fins fans, buckle up, because today's video is going to hit you right in the heart. A veteran saying goodbye again, major changes on defense. Locker room buzz that could reshape the whole system, and to top it off, a twist no one saw coming. The next few hours could define Miami's future, and we're breaking down every piece of this South Beach storm. You won't believe what we've got today. So get comfy, drop a like, and let's dive in. Subscribe to the channel so we can hit 1,000 subs and show just how strong this Dolphins family really is. Every time we think we've seen it all with the Dolphins, boom, something shakes the whole foundation. Cornell Armstrong, yeah, that same dude who once wore aqua and orange with pride, officially been released from injured reserve. Yep, looks like his run in Miami might be over again. But what does that really mean for the team? And why is everyone, inside and outside the organization, talking about this move? Armstrong's not just some name lost on the roster list. The guy came into the league in 2018, drafted by Miami, fighting like a real underdog from day one. He's been through the grind, Texans, Falcons, Raiders, before finding his way back to South Florida. It felt like a redemption arc, that kind of comeback story we all love in the league. The vet returning home to prove he's still got juice left. But fate had other plans. A training camp injury stopped everything, and now this cold. Calculated release, classic NFL business. Where the game shows no mercy to bodies that break down, the Dolphins' defense is in a fragile spot. And that's exactly why Armstrong's exit stirs things up. He might not have been a starter, but he was a locker room guy. Someone who knew the playbook inside out and brought depth to the unit. Losing a player like that when your defense is already trying to find its footing? That's more than a small shakeup. It's a strategic risk. Especially when your secondary is wobbling between uncertainty, injuries, and rushed adjustments. Fans are split. Some say it's time to move on, to give the younger guys a shot. Others aren't having it. He deserved one more chance, one fan wrote on. Hard to argue with that. Considering the grind and loyalty Armstrong showed through multiple stints. But this league? It's a jungle built on merit, brutal and always chasing results. And the timing, man, it's interesting. The coaching staff's talking about refreshing the roster, prepping the field for possible additions in the secondary, tweaking the system. Everything points to this being just the first domino. Makes you wonder, are we about to see a full shake-up? Maybe. And if you've been watching this channel, you already know where there's smoke, there's fire. Deep down, this one hurts. Not just because of who Armstrong was on the field, but what he stood for. That gritty Miami mindset that refuses to quit. The big question now, does he get another shot somewhere else? Or was this his last dance in the league? While the fan base is still processing the move, the mood in Miami is getting intense. What's happening on defense feels like one of those turning points, where everything's got to be rethought before the season slips away. And inside that locker room, the message is loud and clear. Nobody's safe. Defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver is shaking up the board, and it's time for everyone to prove they belong. This week's practices were wild. Linebackers, safeties, corners all rotating, new combos being tested, and that show me or sit down energy in the air. Fans can feel the tension. Tyrell Dodson's still out with a concussion, leaving a hole in the middle of the defense, a hole that could change everything about how. Miami plays against the Chargers on Sunday. KJ Britt fits Weaver's disciplined mold, but Willie Gay Jr., who flashed in training camp, still looks hungry. And then there's the green dot dilemma, that helmet signal that marks the defensive play caller. Weaver said it straight. Talent isn't enough. Leadership matters. Some players freeze when it's their turn to command. That tells you how much the staff values composure as much as aggression. What really caught analysts off guard was Weaver's public praise for. Benito Jones said he was the standout on the D-line against Carolina, even in limited snaps. That's a sign of real meritocracy. Play better, earn more time, no matter your contract or name. And honestly, that's exactly the spark this team's been missing. The D-line looks ready for adjustments. More pressure in the trenches, more rotation, more accountability. Weaver wants to see fire. And if Benito keeps showing progress, this group could be heading for a real transformation soon. Now, the secondary. That's where things get tricky. With Armstrong gone and Storm Duck still rehabbing, Miami's walking a tightrope. Jack Jones and Rasul Douglas are holding the line, but it's been shaky. Weaver hinted at new looks in the nickel package, possibly with Minka Fitzpatrick and Ufichu Melifonwu taking on hybrid roles. That's bold, and bold might be exactly what Miami needs. Fans are buzzing online. Are we about to see a defensive revolution? One post said. Or are we just rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic? The sentiment's mixed, but one thing's clear: something's gotta change. Fast. And if there's one thing we've learned, it's that when Miami's backed into a corner, they fight hard. What's coming next could shake this franchise to its core. And just when you think the storm's over, reality hits harder. Coming off a brutal 1-4 start, with issues everywhere, this is one of those moments where pride gets tested. And right in the middle of it all, that name pops up again: Cornell Armstrong. Yep, him again. This story just won't quit, and this time, it feels final. Armstrong, who'd been holding down that nickel spot, went down with a tendon injury against Carolina. Tried to come back, but the body said no. Ended up on IR, then waived shortly after. It's the kind of news that cuts deep, especially for those who've followed his grind to keep that aqua and orange dream alive. More than a player, Armstrong became a symbol of toughness for a defense still trying to find itself. And he's not alone. The Dolphins' injury list looks like a horror movie. Tyreek Hill, Jason Sanders, Austin Jackson, James Daniels, Andrew Meyer, and others are all banged up. When half your core's down, the whole system feels it. Mike McDaniel and his staff are juggling pieces, doing whatever it takes to stay competitive. Survival mode is in full effect. But Armstrong's release also had strategy behind it. It frees up a return slot on IR, crucial when those key guys are ready to come back. Sanders, Meyer, Jackson, and Daniels all impact major phases of the game. Keeping that flexibility is smart business. Even if it feels cold, what hurts fans most is seeing another chance slip away for a player who embodied the Miami grind. Armstrong was that quiet guy doing the dirty work, steady in the coverage without making headlines. Now, without him, the secondary's got to reinvent itself fast. Storm Duck could be next up once he's healthy. But until then, its depth's hanging by a thread, and the timing couldn't be tougher. The Chargers are coming, and the defense needs an answer now. The pressure's real, doubts are growing, and confidence is running thin. But if you've been a fan long enough, you know this. When everyone counts Miami out, that's when they rise. And what happens next could flip this season upside down. So as we wrap this up, here's the truth. This stretch isn't about comfort. It's about response. 3 major stories shaking up the Dolphins, from emotional exits to strategic moves, and a wave of adversity testing every piece of this roster. The defense has to reinvent itself. The offense needs rhythm again. And every player's got to earn their spot, day in and day out. Now I want to know, do you believe Miami's going to bounce back, or is this storm just getting started? Drop your thoughts in the comments and help this channel grow with your like and subscription. In this fan base, we don't fold, we fight.